And welcome to the 2013 Armen Awards celebration. It's great to see such a good turnout out here this afternoon. I know that you're all busy, and so I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to be able to come out here and to celebrate the hard work and the accomplishments of these 8 teams today. If you haven't met me, I'm Jeremy Osborne. I'm the director of the Center for Teaching Excellence at Grand Rapids Community College. And when you really look at why we're all here today, it really is about celebration. And even though this was a competition, and I'm sure our 8 teams are probably anxious to see how that competition turned out, we really are here to recognize the time and the talents and the energy that all of these participants have put into these projects. And to be able to come together and to really recognize that and to kind of focus on that is the reason that we're all here. Also, if you really look at the Armen Awards, this year's celebration and this year's competition, being about innovation and service learning, really epitomizes what community colleges are really all about and what makes what we do so meaningful and so special. And that is that integral connection that we have with the communities that we serve. And so, to say a little bit more about that connection, I'd like to introduce the provost of Grand Rapids Community College, Dr. Hilda Healy.
Good afternoon. How are you today? This is a great day for GRCC. You know, this is the 3rd year we've been doing this, right? And it's been getting better and better and better every year. The vision of our institution says that as a college of distinction, Grand Rapids Community College inspires students to meet the needs of the community and the world. And the Armen Awards does just that. They allow us to make that vision a reality. Through this competition, faculty, students, and community partners work together to create and implement service projects that meet the needs of the community. As part of a class, a formal course, students learn and apply firsthand the skills necessary to effectively collaborate, to work with diverse communities, and to make a difference in the community, which are all essential pieces to become an engaged citizen. I want to thank each team for their participation and for their hard work. I want to thank Mike and his team for putting this together, following through, and doing so many details. You have no idea how many logistics go behind this. So yeah, let's give them a hand. Like I like to say, you rock. But we are extremely, extremely grateful to Armen Media for making this event possible and for allowing Grand Rapids Community College the opportunity to continue to be a college of distinction. Armen, thank you so much for your help. And let's get on with the awards, right?
Thank you, Dr. Healy. When you look at the Armen Awards, it's really about a couple core things. And the community connection that we've talked about is one core piece. But one of the other core pieces of the Armen Awards that's been part of this since the beginning is innovation. And when you look at the awards, which began in 2010, they're designed to inspire, recognize, and award innovation and collaboration. So the collaboration aspect is captured in the fact that we have team-based projects that involve collaboration among faculty, students, and community partners. And the innovation component has to do with developing innovative teaching and learning practices. And innovation is something that is more than just a buzzword. It's something that really is a core value of what we do at GRCC. And to be able to have these awards in this competition where we can really focus on that innovation and focus on ways that we can enhance teaching and learning is something that really is the business that we're all in. And when you look at the one thing that's different this year with the Armen Awards, it is a focus on service learning. And for those of you that don't know, academic service learning is a pedagogy that combines service in the community with classroom learning. So you have an organized service project that's designed to meet identified needs in the community. And in a real sense, what service learning does is it makes our community the classroom. and gives students a really enriching experience. And after that project, the students have an opportunity to reflect on their experience, which gives them a greater appreciation of course content, an appreciation of the applied relevance of their discipline, and allows them to engage in social justice issues and enhance their sense of civic responsibility. So if you look at the projects that the teams did this year, they span a wide array of areas. And several of those core areas are education, community health and wellness, and information and access. So in the education area, our projects trained students to become tutors. One of our other projects involved working with the Grand Rapids Public Schools to implement a One Book, One City program for children. In terms of community health and wellness, we taught CPR, provided oral hygiene education to pregnant teens and teen mothers, helped educate food pantry clients about healthy meal planning, and worked with East Leonard Elementary on a program designed to help children develop a healthy lifestyle. We also had projects that provided childcare services to homeless families or to families that were working and needed some assistance, and also a project that helped the collegiate newspaper develop a mobile app that would increase access to information. So that's a lot of different things. And in some sense, it would seem like they're so diverse, how can we compare them? But they're all unified by one core thing. They're unified by the fact that they all had a positive impact on everyone involved. And that's what makes service learning such a special thing and such a core part of what we do. So if you think about these projects, you can probably tell by the names and the descriptions that they have a pretty clear impact on the community. But in terms of the education that we have at GRCC, it's important to also note that these projects have had a profound impact on the faculty and the students that are involved as well. And to highlight some of that impact, we have videos that we've prepared for you to watch on each of the different projects. So we will start out with a little piece on the child psychology course with Family Promise providing child care services to homeless families seeking respite or time to seek employment.
Students in an honors course of child psychology this semester at GRCC have been working with Family Promise of Grand Rapids on a project to explore what it's like to be in financial crisis, to live in poverty, on the development of children and their families.
It's pretty cool the way that we can help them with some stuff that they might not be able to get done from they're not a profit organization, so they don't have a lot of people that they can pay to get stuff done. So in addition to spending time with kids and helping them see that we're there and making sure that they don't feel abandoned and left out and completely ignored, we can also help get the little things done.
So students have been spending time at the Family Promise Day Center, working with kids, talking with the families. They've made a meal for a family. They've organized donations in the playroom. They have created a couple flyers about nutrition and about parenting and some other things that have really helped families at Family Promise.
It's kind of cool to have taken the information from the classroom and then go and be able to apply it and see it, how it works in like a real world situation.
I think academic service learning can be applied probably in almost every department. I know we have examples of other departments doing, just wonderfully creative things with service learning. So I think to me the key is that service learning allows you to take what you're studying in the classroom and make it real, make it really come alive for the students.
Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about the impact that this project has had on your organization? And if you want to talk a little bit about impact on yourself, you can do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Kelsey Vining, and these chairs are really rolly. I'm the volunteer coordinator at Family Promise of Grand Rapids. On our main program is an Interfaith Hospitality Network, which is a shelter program for homeless families. So a lot of the work that the students did when the families came in and when the families were there students would show up and they'd be able to spend time with the kids so that the moms could make a phone call or get on the computer or build their resume or things like that, where they would be able to step away, not leave the day center in a sense, but be there, still be a presence, but give them just a little moment of respite so they could get some things done, because that's their working time. In the evenings, the families are sleeping at a network of host churches. So in the evenings, the families aren't there. They're at a church sleeping. And you saw in the video a couple of the other things the students did was help us make centerpieces. We had our first benefit dinner last Thursday. It was very successful. We were very happy about it. And they helped make, with some of our families, some of these wonderful centerpieces that we were able to put photos of our families on top of the centerpieces popping out of the little houses that you saw, to connect our donors with the faces of our kids that have been through shelter with us and the faces of our families. And then a couple of the other things they did, they helped craft some special donor cards as well that we like to send out when we get in-kind donations or monetary donations from around the community. So those are a really nice touch as well. And they have a quote from one of our kids that says maybe, "Thank you for sleeping at my church," or "I loved the Dora movies, I loved all the people at the day center," and cute little phrases from kids that have been through shelter with us, so to connect our donors to those families. And they also just helped keep the day center a clean and pretty place for our families, as they're always in and out and hustle and bustle and all those things that they have to get done to find housing while they're with us. They were able to kind of keep it a nice, fresh place for our families as well. So,
thank you. Okay, so that's the first of our 8 projects. The second is the Community The Community Transcultural Nursing course with the American Red Cross teaching GRCC students the life-changing skills of CPR.
Our goal is to take the Red Cross's goal and bring it to GRCC and maybe beyond. Initially, to take as many individuals at GRCC and train them how to do citizen CPR with the ultimate goal of saving lives.
Nursing students come into the chapter. They sit through learning what citizen CPR is, and then basically, in a very short segment of an hour or so, how to teach it.
As a nursing student and a kinetic learner, this experience has helped me grow by being able to do more hands-on. It kind of helps you feel better about your nursing career. You're changing lives, not just your own, not just the person you're teaching, but potentially somebody else that they could be saving.
I was so impressed with their ability to teach, so that I became the observer of the teacher than I have ever done in any of my other classes.
The more people that can have immediate response for care if they are non-responsive, no signs of life, this is what that's geared for.
There's no reason that all of our staff at GRCC and as many students as possible that come through GRCC don't know how to do compressions in a proper way to save a life. This will save a life.
Hello everybody, my name's Jen. I'm the Training and AED Sales Representative for West Michigan with the American Red Cross. And we started the hands-only CPR initiative back in 2010 in an effort to train more bystanders in just the hands-only CPR compression skill to be able to help save a life in the event of a witness sudden collapse. So the fact that GRCC came to us and was very enthusiastic to be able to offer this skill to the community, I thought was great. There's a lot of time that can lapse, from the time an emergency occurs to when 911 is called and to when the emergency medical system actually arrives in response to the scene. So if we can train as many people as possible in this skill, I think it will have a great impact in the community. And we're more than willing and happy to work with GRCC nursing students in the program, and we're excited to see more people get trained in this very useful and life-saving skill. So thank you.
Okay, for our third project, we have the college writing course working with the Grand Rapids Public Library, administering One Book, One City for the children in the Grand Rapids Public Schools.
The project is partnership with the Grand Rapids Public Library on an annual reading program that they do every year called One Book, One City for Kids. Each year, the Grand Rapids fourth graders get the book that's been selected by GRPL. What we add for our service component is we go into at least one school and read the book with the fourth graders.
Once we went in the first day, all the kids, they were so excited about us coming there. And once we sat down, they couldn't wait to tell us what they liked about the book, how much they had fun reading the book, and just their favorite parts about it.
This year's selection is called Special Delivery. And it's a great book because it's based in Grand Rapids. So when the students are reading it, they actually read places that they're familiar with, like Baxter Community Centers in there. Both the college students and the fourth grade students were like reading about a place that they know. So that made an additional connection.
It affected me in a big way by just like interacting with the community and how big a difference you can have, like what kind of impact it can make on kids, and it's gonna have an impact on you too. Like once it ended, I asked the teacher if we had any other projects we could do with the kids or just the community.
Getting them to engage with the book for fun and discussion, and to then find out about the library, and hopefully that the students will start to connect to the fact that they can go to the library, and hopefully build a lifelong learning relationship with reading.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah McCarville. I'm the Branch and Youth Services Coordinator for the Grand Rapids Public Libraries. And there was one fateful day that I sat next to Mirza Lada Muhammad at a community meeting where I was bemoaning the fact that we were always, every year, looking for funding for our One Book, One City for Kids program. And she had some great ideas, and I thought, yes, thank you. We wrote a grant and received some money for that so that we could purchase. Every year we're looking for the money to purchase 1,600 copies of the book for every fourth grader in the city of Grand Rapids, in the Grand Rapids Public Schools. And that's a hard thing every year to find that money. So it's great to have a wonderful collaborator and bring this book to the kids. And because we had chosen this book this year with a local, nationally known author, it was even a greater fun for us because we could bring Sue Stoffaker into the classroom and these kids could meet her and find out what an author does, and oh my gosh, did you write that book? Can you sign it for me? It was so cool. So thank you very much. We have done this for 8 years now, and I'm planning to do it for another 80 if you ask me to. Thank you.
How many of you have ever gone into an elementary school classroom and read before? It's a rewarding experience, isn't it, to be able to see just the way that children get excited about reading and excited about that content and the kinds of questions they ask. And again, when you look at the projects that we're doing, you know, that's the difference that we're talking about, to be able to give children that kind of an experience and that kind of joy. So the fourth project that we have is the Community Dental Health course, working with the Salvation Army Booth Family Services, providing oral hygiene education to pregnant teens and teen mothers.
This project was with the Salvation Army Booth Family Services, and 2 dental hygiene students who talked to teen moms who are pregnant and or just had babies about their dental health and about the dental health of their babies.
We educated them on oral hygiene and just different diseases that can result from poor oral hygiene. We also impacted them on how their babies develop, because a baby that has a lot of cavities will develop slower, will be in pain, won't be thriving.
We had a true passion, and we knew that we wanted to impact future generations, and so we wanted to target, you know, teenagers or young people that have their whole lives that could be impacted by their oral health.
This project went phenomenally well, and it's the third time that we've run a project like this, but this pair of students really dove into it with the research aspect and a full understanding of the needs of these individuals that were in their group and all the demographics that would surround that. They already have a really good foundation in dental hygiene, but they had to, through their assessment, develop a program that was specific for the needs of this group.
I grew a lot from this experience. You really find out more about yourself through doing community service learning.
It changes every aspect that you've learned. You really just have to go with it, and you learn so much about yourself, and you learn how you can improve things for the next time and to make it bigger and better, you know, to impact more people.
Did you know that you were speaking? You might be speaking. Are you okay speaking? Do you want to hold the microphone? Here, I'll help you. You can stand up. All right, so what's your name?
Angela Scott, and I'm from the Teen Parent Center at Salvation Army.
Okay, Angela, I'm Jeremy. It's nice to meet you. Meet everyone else. So, Angela, in terms of this project, how would you say that this project has impacted your organization?
I think that the biggest thing is that we are dealing with teen parents, and so hearing them and listening to them say things about what they learned in that group session that they did with Kaylee and Nancy really makes a difference, and not only in their lives, but the lives of their kids. And so I was just really impressed with that, because it's not just this group of girls, but now we're working with their kids and hopefully their kids and then their kids and their kids. And so.
So you think that these are the effects that we'll see down through the generations?
Yes, I'm hopeful of that.
Back and forth. Do you think that in observing the students and their interactions, that this was something that they really benefited from educationally as well?
You mean the GRCC students? Or?
Yes.
Yes. I think they did a lot of extra research, and they even came up with a brochure for our program. We have a phases system that we work with, and they came up with a brochure to help with that. And so I think that stretched them as well to find the resources in our community to help the population that we're really dealing with, and to be able to write it in a way that's user-friendly for adolescents.
Excellent. Thank you. See, that was relatively painless, right? With our next project, we have the Consulting with Writers course with GRCC's Writing Lab, training students to serve as writing tutors.
We would have the class once a week, and we would always be keeping up with various assignments, reflection essays that were 2 pages long and that kind of thing. But then after our first or maybe second week of doing the 2 hours in the lab, we would become essentially one of the tutors and gather experience from working with other students.
The great thing about this class is the students can learn these new concepts and then apply the learning directly, immediately, to writing with the other writing students. So it's not this abstract idea that they're trying to understand. It's something that they can actually see happening in someone else's writing, and they can actually use that new knowledge to help the person become a stronger writer and have a stronger essay. So they can apply what they're learning really quickly.
I was thinking along the lines of teaching English, so by doing the tutoring aspect of it, it really enforced my decision to continue pursuing a teaching degree for English.
These experiences are something that they would have never had in a traditional writing classroom. It's not as intimidating, when you're working with someone else who's also taking classes, who's also maybe struggling with their math class or their history class or whatever. It's nice to have someone that's approachable, who can help you with the subject that you're struggling with, so the students in the lab really appreciate it too.
every single time I help a student and I get that thank you, or they get that smile or that gratitude, it's really rewarding, and that's I'm constantly striving to get that reward, and it's just as rewarding every single time.
Hi everyone, my name's Kelly Roblin, and I am the coordinator of the Language Arts Tutorial Lab at GRCC. And we see about 2,000 students a week in our lab, so we're quite busy. And the students who come to the lab would like help with their writing, their reading, language studies, technology issues. And so this semester, because of the service learning project, we had an additional 1,412 sessions with students because of the service learning project. So, I'm very thankful.
And I think with this particular project, it reminds us of something that's really important, which is that Grand Rapids Community College is not separate from the community, that when we talk about community partners, that our own students are part of that community as well. And so it really shows the diversity of service learning and the different groups that we can reach. Our next project is the Mobile Device Security and Development course, working with the collegiate newspaper to create a mobile app to increase access and readership.
Well, the point of the project was create that collegiate app, just sort of an app for the school's newspaper, so that it would be accessible for everyone on mobile devices, not just through the actual paper format. It sort of felt more like an important project rather than just a homework assignment. I felt like it wasn't just, the professor relying on me, but everybody, like the whole student body.
Service learning is an innovation. It helps to keep students engaged, to have a specific need in the community, like the need to communicate with students through a newspaper, and to do that with technology. It really helps to engage students, and in a way it makes teaching a little bit easier because that need keeps the focus and it reminds students to do their homework.
It's actually really interesting. It's more challenging than just thinking in your head what you're interested in. It's actually more of a trying to appeal to someone else's idea and trying your best to actually conform to what they have in mind.
And I found that deeper learning really takes place because students feel like others depend on them. The project, the group depends on them. So they actually look into more detail, and having a specific project to work on feels more like real world.
Actually, having the newspaper on the mobile platform is really what helps everyone read and have the accessibility to the newspaper.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Ackerman Haywood, and I am the advisor of the collegiate newspaper here on campus. And this project really came out of I get ideas late at night. And I saw on the GRCC website that Simon was going to be teaching a class on mobile app development, and I thought, wow, that's great. That's actually, there's some money in that. I don't know about you, but I've paid for a few apps on the iTunes store. So anyway, I just shot him an email and said, I advise the collegiate, and we could really, it'd be great to have an app. And that set like this massive process in motion where Simon I did not expect him to respond immediately, which he did. I got an immediate response to my email, and he just got to work with his students. And you guys did a fantastic job, because journalism now, we're in some trouble, journalists. We have got to figure out ways to find our audience and continue to find our audience. And I'm still hanging on as a columnist at the Press, but I watch a lot of my colleagues leave and go into other things, and Simon it helped me out, because what I'm trying to do in my classroom is show students how to be viable in newspaper industry, and audience is so important to that. And so the app itself, what it allows us to do is reach our students, our student audience, and also our faculty audience. But students, I don't know about the other instructors in the room, but we're competing against this device a lot of times to have the attention of our students. And so I thought, well, we need to use that device to get our information that we're producing in our classroom as journalists. We're trying to get that word out. So it was a wonderful opportunity to just partner. And like I said, I just threw an idea out there, and Simon did a wonderful job. The students did a great job, and we sure do appreciate it at Collegiate. Thank you so much.
Newspapers are not going away, they're just changing. Up next, we have the Community Transcultural Nursing, see, that's no easier the second time. The Community Transcultural Nursing course, working with the North End Community Ministry, educating its food pantry clients on healthy meal planning and recipes.
We had the opportunity of assisting the NOW program and the food pantry on the Northeast side, delivering education pertaining to diabetes, heart disease, common severe health ailments that affect a large population.
These students were working with clients in a food pantry, and as nursing students, they come with a wealth of knowledge about nutrition and how that affects different disease processes. So when clients come in and they have a history of high blood pressure or they have a history of diabetes, they can help them be even more selective in what they're getting from the food pantry.
Hopefully, the information that they receive can help them make wiser choices in the diets in which they consume. We also had the opportunity to do food demonstrations so they can get a visual aspect of how to prepare some of the diets and recipes that we recommended.
Service learning, I think, is really beneficial to students, obviously, in helping them to get kind of the on-the-ground, realistic, this is what it means to meet these objectives. I'm not just writing a paper, I'm not just jumping through hoops to get a grade, but I'm actually doing something that's of value to someone. So from a teaching perspective, it doesn't change what I do a whole lot, it just makes it so much richer.
It was a heartfelt journey. When you go to school and you're so consumed with education and stuff, you forget about people every day, that their struggles they go through, and especially with the economy being how it is, I didn't know that hunger and not being able to know where their next meal is coming from was so prevalent in our community.
Hi, my name is Laura Castle. I'm the Executive Director of North End Community Ministry, and we were especially excited to have Grand Rapids Community College nursing students with us this semester. Regina and Darcy, they did a great job. We've actually worked with GRCC for about 3 years now, and the whole purpose of the project of having them work with us was to provide healthy foods through food demos, through education, and so forth. They actually put together different display boards that we could put up in our lobby so that we could educate some of the clients that we were serving. We partner with Spectrum Health's Healthier Communities through the Nutritional Options for Wellness program. And as part of that, they make referrals over to our pantry, and we serve about 15 individuals for a period of about 2 months. And so it's always a challenge trying to provide education as well as food to the people that come in. And so one of the days they did this great stir fry, and of course all of us got to try some of it. It was absolutely delicious. And they also provided a myriad of different recipes that we can give out to our clients all year long. Not to mention the wonderful bulletin boards that heighten awareness about the types of healthy foods that we need to provide to our clients that come into the ministry. Our ministry as a whole, our main purpose is food. We serve about 800 families a month in our general pantry, and this particular pantry that the students were working with serves about 15 every 2 months. So we are grateful. Thank you very much for all your hard work.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, we have the Principles of Physical Education course, working with East Leonard Elementary, administering the Organ Wise Guys, helping children develop a healthy lifestyle.
My principles of physical education class is going into elementary schools to help kind of combat this obesity epidemic. And all of my students are wanting to be teachers in physical education, personal trainers, athletic trainers, group fitness instructors. And so we're trying to develop those qualities in the students as well.
They loved it, and I think they really like having a new person. The very first day, the very first 5 minutes, I gained confidence. I learned how to teach little kids. I never dealt with little kids before. So I learned how to teach little kids. I learned how to think like in the moment, and I kind of learned new teaching styles, and I got that confidence.
Academic service learning has changed how I teach because it makes me look at the students and what I need to give to them so they are successful in our community.
Like I'm learning about what I'm going into. I'm going to use all of this for my job. I already am using it for my job, working as a personal trainer, and now I'm going to use it farther once I get, my bachelor degree, and I'm going to use it.
We're supposed to provide for our students here at GRCC, the community, and support them in their learning endeavors and their professional experiences, and also upping their credentials. We need to realize that the community is part of us. We are called Grand Rapids Community College for a reason, supporting our next generation who's going to become our Grand Rapids Community College students.
So my partners are still teaching or finishing up their day at East Leonard, but I'm going to have everybody stand up, and you are going to take part in the Oregon Wise Guys Health Chant. You have to get moving. Okay, so how does our community service play out? Our kids at the elementary schools learn this chant, and they go home to their families and they question their mom and dad. Are you eating the right type of foods? Are you bringing home the right type of foods for me, for my brain? So if you guys can all kind of follow me, ready? Low fat, touch the floor. Low fat, high fiber, lots of water, exercise. Again, low fat, high fiber, lots of water, exercise. You can sit down. So, all the students get to learn that health chant, and I get phone calls all the time saying, what did you teach my kids? Like, we're going grocery shopping, and they're asking me if it's low fat, high fiber, are we getting the right type of exercise in, and stuff like that. But I think more importantly is when they can put what they learned into cards for my students, then we know that they have transferred the material. So anyways, these have all been given to Samantha for her work that she did at the schools by the kids, and they drew the Kidney Brothers. So some of the names are Hearty Heart, Kid Kidney Brothers, Wendy the Lungs, Peter Pancreas, Cerebrum, Pepto the Stomach, Madam Muscle, Kelsey M Bone, Luigi the Liver, and Peristaltic the Intestines. So, thank you.
There are a lot of cards on this table, too. I think if you look at the Armen Awards and you look at service learning and you look at what we're really doing, that stack of cards probably says more about why we're here than anything that any of us can say. And as you really look at the different videos and you look at these different projects, and in spite of all the kind of ground that they cover, it's clear that they've all made a difference in the community and on everyone involved. However, to shift gears, it is a competition, and when you look at all 8 of these projects, I could say a cliche and say that we're all winners here, which is true, but only 3 of you are going to get cash. So, to determine the winners, a team of judges carefully reviewed each project and evaluated them based on the collaboration among team members, the positive impact of the project, and the overall quality of the submitted materials. And after much discussion and deliberation, 3 winners were chosen. There are 3 prizes. First prize is $3,000, second is $1,500, and third is $750. In addition to the prize money, this year's winning team will also appear on WZZM's Take 5 show on Wednesday, May 8th. So, if you have a DVR, you can set it for that. So, to present the awards to these 3 teams, I would like to invite 2 people to the stage. First of all, Mike O'Shavy, the Associate Director of the Department of Experiential Learning at GRCC. Let there be light. Along with the man who made all of this possible, Armen Awards. So the names of the 3 winners are tucked away safely in these 3 envelopes. It's all about the ceremony, right? So before we get to... So without further ado, we'll start with the 3rd place winner. So this team will receive an award of $750. The 3rd place team is the Mobile Device Security and Development Team partnering with the Collegiate newspaper. I forgot to mention that each of the teams should come to the stage after your name is announced. There is a check, but more importantly, you can keep the envelope as a keepsake. It's quite nice. Okay. You may have a seat. Let's all be honest. Everyone's childhood dream is to someday hold one of those giant checks, isn't it? The money's nice, but the giant check, the money could be gone in a day, but the giant check will be in your basement forever. Or it could be framed. Or I should stop talking. The runner-up, receiving $1,500, is the Principals of Physical Education team partnering with East Leonard Elementary. So you're saying that if my kids go through that program, they'll eat something other than French fries and macaroni and cheese? I mean, my children eat impeccably. And I have one more. The winner of the $3,000 first place prize is, do we have a drum set? The Community Dental Health Team partnering with the Salvation Army Booth Family Services. Hey, have you ever seen a check that big before? Have you ever been interviewed by a strange man in a pink shirt before?
No, she's been trained well.
At least she didn't shout stranger danger, so. Can we have one more round of applause for all 8 of our teams? As we start to come to the end of our celebration today, when you think back to the planning process for this, when the planning team for the Armen Awards first got together last summer, they wanted to make this final year of the Armen Awards and make it something special, to create an unforgettable learning experience for the students and to be able to make a real impact on the lives of others and on this community. And I think that that's a goal that's been more than accomplished. And when you look at this level of impact and you really think about what's been done as a result of these 8 teams in this room, at-risk teen mothers and their babies can take better care of their teeth, reducing generational issues of poor dental hygiene. Families temporarily experiencing the effects of homelessness know that if they're off work or looking for work, that there's someone that's providing a caring structure for their kids. More people have been trained to save lives through citizen CPR. I'm sure that many of us have been in situations where we've seen how something as simple as learning CPR can save someone's life and alter families for years. Children have gained a passion for reading. College students have gained self-confidence in the skills of writing. Children have learned healthy eating habits and calisthenics too, right? The community has greater access to the useful information in the collegiate newspaper, and citizens in financial hardship can identify healthy options when selecting items from the food pantry. Ultimately, because of the Armen Awards and its connection with service learning, we know that GRCC teaches, learns, cares, that GRCC works, and that GRCC is a college of distinction. So, having seen this impact, I'm sure that many of you are thinking about, how can I get involved with this? You heard several different impacts of this, not just on the community, but on things like student engagement and on the enriching experience for faculty members. And so whether you're new to service learning or have been doing this for years, it's never too early to start thinking about service learning projects. Preparation is key. These are things that require some planning and some forethought. So don't wait, get started now. We have plenty of courses, students and community needs. All we have to do is match all of those things up. And you can see what happens when we do that. So if you're ready and you want to begin, we're ready as well. And there's information to help you get started on the grcc.edu/Armen Awards, where we have / where there is information on that, or you can contact Mike O'Shavy in the Department of Experiential Learning. So before we wrap up, I would like to thank several people. First of all, thank you for the faculty, students, and community partners who worked so hard on each of these projects. Your efforts are much appreciated. And again, you've made such an impact on people's lives, and so thank you for that contribution and that investment. I'd also like to thank the members of the Armen Awards planning team. Without your dedication, none of this that we see would have been possible. I'd also like to thank our team of judges, who, as you can imagine, had a difficult task on their hands in selecting a winner from among these projects. I'd also like to thank Mike O'Shavy. Where is he at? Hiding. For his leadership and for coordinating the Armen Awards, and just for all of the things that he does around not just service learning, but all the areas in experiential learning. And finally, I would like to thank, personally, Armen Awards for both his continued support of the awards and for all of his contributions to GRCC and the Grand Rapids community. Armen, do you have a few words you would like to say? I can bring you the mic too if you want.
I did. I made a few. I had my talk right here, but I made a few notes. First of all, why am I here? Why did I get involved with JRCC? I'm a graduate of junior college. My wife was. My kids have been. Their mates have been. All have gone through this school, and it is a fabulous school. I know those of you that are here believe it, but we need to tell that story over and over and over. And then I heard today, community. It is a community school, and that we need to find ways to let the community, the whole community, know what we have here. Another thing that I heard tonight, that I heard about real-world education. What we've described, this relationship with our students, with our teachers, our faculty, and with the folks that they've worked with, this is real-world education. It's not just in the classroom. It's out there really in the front lines. And we need to do more of that, as much as we can, and make it real. Now for my speech. What an amazing event tonight. This has grown over 3 years. We had an idea. We started with the idea that we could work with the faculty and the students to develop innovative ways of teaching and learning. That's what we started with. Innovation, innovation. We wanted to accomplish projects with teams of faculty and students, using innovation as our vehicle. It was born out of the hope for innovative, new, and better approaches to meet the needs of our community. Our community is developing bright people. Our community is growing great opportunities for these bright people. We are right in the middle of it. We are the ones that must find a way to keep the educational process generating and producing these kind of folks. This year we expanded our direction, combining innovation and community services. This led us to inspire the development of innovative teaching and learning practices. What you heard tonight was just that. What a great day. These successes have led me to a new commitment. Where's Mike? Another 3 years, Mike. Earlier this afternoon, I was talking to Trish, saying how much fun I was having. And I said, you know, Trish, it was fun working, earning the money, and it's just as much fun giving it away, and maybe more. So thank you, JRCC. Thank you, the Armen team. May you continue forever. And thank you, folks that have been competitive. And the judges had one heck of a job. I know we've seen this every year because the competition is so good. So thank you very much.
And thank you, Armen. We know that you've had your influence on GRCC, not just on these awards, but in terms of the scholarships and things you've been involved with. You have touched the lives of a lot of people as well, and we really appreciate that. So now that we know that the Armen Awards will be happening next year as well, you have one extra incentive for working on your service learning project. You could also, at this time next year, be holding a giant check. If you're interested in assembling a team and developing a project for next year, you can check out the Armen Awards website, so grcc.edu/Armen Awards, or like I said, contact Mike O'Shavy in the Department of Experiential Learning. Again, congratulations to all of our winners. Make sure that you congratulate them on their way out. Thank you for coming, and have a good weekend. And as a reminder, if you're a member of one of the teams, don't run away. We still want to take your picture.